which I don't blame you not to. Once again, this is accidental, normal gym class feeders and not snowy Earth.
Fix your game, Righto.
Yep. Fix your
Also, don't
game.
ban my champ, please.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like the Nidalee jungle. He must have came into you guys talking about the threes you played earlier.
Definitely. We also, just to kind of catch everybody up, Spencer drew 3 bans, Kokoro no Nagi, and then went with a Gangplank anyway. We have Cancer locked in on the blue side as well, with Teemo as the support. So Blitzcrank out on the field for Sig, who might be looking to make Earth happen even without Earth. And Menard's Kane is out there rather. Another champ that could get him another double pentakill.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's definitely a possibility. Um, Looking at how squishy that team is, he probably is going to go the Assassin Kane, and he could just rip right through that team.
The one thing I'm not liking is on the red side, we've got a full AD comp, so it might have to be a Blitzcrank or an AP Blitzcrank just to kind of get some AP damage in there.
Yeah. AP Blitzcrank, AP Misfortune. Anything's possible. On the blue side, while they're not completely AD, they're mostly AD from all three of their main carry roles. If Nidalee doesn't get off the ground, or if the red team can dodge the spears, they're going to be lacking some of magic damage as well.
Same thing. A couple sweepers will kind of take Teemo out of the game too. Definitely
If
something to watch is
only.
which AD comp is better. Not a lot of CC for the blue team either. You're kind of looking at Varus' ult as the only real hard CC that they have.
So it's a Varus ult or a Narbar versus Blitzcrank. We will see how that goes.
As a guy who plays Blitzcrank often enough, I'm betting on the Bliss, but that's personal preference right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so matchups we got Gangplank against Zed, a Gnar against an Alawi, a Teemo Varus bot lane looking into a Misfortune and Blitzcrank, and then Kane and Nidalee roaming around between the lanes.
Yeah. I know that Greatbeard of Odin doesn't play very much Alawi. So I'll be interested to see how that goes, especially into Gnar. You're a top laner. Do you know how that matchup goes at all?
That matchup, Gnar's going to poke Alawi, so it's going to be about Alawi's ability to get the E off. Especially with that new, with the Kleptomancy rune, Alawi's E is a big part of her kit up there. But with Gnar being able to dodge everything so easily, I don't know that they'll be able to land it, or that Greatbeard of Odin will be able to land that E2 easy. So I would put that in favor of the Gnar. But Port Swimmer's not exactly Port Swimmer's been playing ADC this entire split for us, so I will be interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, in my opinion, which doesn't mean much, Gnar is a lot like an AD carry, especially if you're playing versus a melee top laner. It's really just like your support roamed off and you're stuck there by yourself, except now you have a double jump escape and a speed boost if you get 3 autos off. So he might be able to leverage some of his landing um, to help him versus Alawi. But if he gets spirit grabbed by Alawi, he's going to lose half his health.
Yeah, and that slow is not going to be as much of a factor on Gnar, but just getting pushed out of lane for someone who needs that, to stand there and to keep poking the champ.
Yeah, that is for sure.
In the bot lane, I'm going to be real curious if, Teemo's going to be able to hide well enough to avoid Blitzcrank. If they're aware that he's in the bush, Blitzcrank's, reach can set up where he can pick off the entire area. So it'll be interesting to see where Teemo decides to hide, kind of use that invisibility to their advantage.
Yeah, the one thing about that is hopefully the misfortune in the Blitzcrank can make the Teemo a little more nervous about just standing there invisibly. Because if they happen to know where he ended up, they could get a pull or just the AoE ults.
And that's going to be on two people who don't normally play together, really communicating well. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. I'm really curious about the bot lane this one.
Mhm. Oh, that's right. I have to switch what stream it is on now. There we go. I'm a professional here, guys. Don't worry about it.
Skin battle, a lot of no skins, 2 on each team. I'm a huge fan of Riot Blitzcrank. When he pushes his W and starts running after you, those little lights just remind me of the minions from Despicable Me, so I'm a huge fan of that.
Yeah,
Soul Hunter Kane, a little too edgy for me though.
yeah. Soul Hunter Kane and Optic Varus look pretty solid, but I just think, oh, actually, never mind. There's only 3 skins on each team. Maybe we should just start tracking RP value.
Or availability.
Yeah, it's true.
If we pull out the Rusty Blitzcrank, I would have been very impressed.
Yeah. I think you can buy that for $700 on Lotto.
At this point, that's probably about what I've put into the free-to-play game League of Legends anyway, so might as well go for it.
I don't think you're supposed to admit that.
Not supposed to, but I think we all accidentally do it.
Yep.
Presents dropping in for everyone.
Yep. Looks like the Zed is ready, just up against the barrier, looking to invade, just like he always does. But if the Blitzcrank doesn't get out of the fountain quick enough, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, I would have expected the invade from the red side, considering the lack of CC on both teams and Blitzcrank's huge ability early on to get that pull. The fact that it didn't come out is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I'm sure they're still going to try. I wonder if they're going to sneak through behind like they did in the first game of Northern Storm versus White Wolf last week.
Yeah, I was on the receiving end of that. I can tell you, was not a fan.
Yeah.
Looks like blue team does have it spotted out though, no real threat, and Alawi's losing a lot of chance to place your tentacles top. That's gonna cost her in lane.
Mm-hmm. That's one of those things that you just don't really even think about if you're not familiar with the champ. I know that someone that is much more familiar with the champ normally would argue not to invade or make them invade 4v5 just so that they have the tentacles set up.
And Shaken Not Stirred is very sad he can't be here today.
I'm sure.
Yeah, blue team is pinging that they seem to know where it is. Didn't do anything with it though. I'm extra curious.
Yeah, they're just gonna steal away the red buff and let Nidalee start on blue. Oh, but Nidalee is actually starting on wolves.
With no leash.
With no leash. It's actually a strategy now. Not sure if Andana is practiced enough in the jungle to be able to do it, but you start at wolves and take 2 of the wolves and then head to blue buff, and it allows you to clear your jungle a little bit quicker if you juggle it correctly. However, you're not supposed to burn your smite on the wolves.
Pulling from the Blitzcrank. A little bit of lost health for Teemo, and looks like red's worse for the trade.
Yeah, and the normal invisible ward coming out from the Blitzcrank is going to hurt him when it comes to the health pot battle versus the top lane that is Varus and Teemo.
Alawi definitely suffering the effects of not having her tentacles down, getting pushed back. When you're against a poke champion like Gnar, you gotta take every little bit you can get. I'm really surprised about the invasion.
Oh, he almost got the ghost under the tower. And Teemo gets pulled again by Blitzcrank having to burn his flash.
Sig is doing a fantastic job pulling the Teemo, and that's helping him win this trade back and forth.
If I was in the bot lane right now, I'd probably just play a little bit safer, hanging out behind the minions.
And red's got nice vision too while they're pushing up a little bit here. Making good progress down there.
So it looks like the Gangplank, as expected, has Kleptomancy. Oh, and there's a gang top by the Kayn already.
And it comes. Flash is blown by Port Swimmer to get out of there. Does survive it and stays around. I don't know if you want to do that against Kayn that can wall run.
Yeah.
Now making the better decision of heading back.
Oh, tower dive.
With the flash
Misses
in.
the Q. One more auto.
Not gonna matter. Does end up a 1-for-1, but with that first blood gold, it's worth for the Kayn.
Yeah. That is for sure. and there is no Kleptomancy on the Alawi.
On the Alawi.
Nope, he has, funnily enough, he has Grasp of the Undying, and then has an Insight Path. And all in going on mid lane from the Zed. Gets Ignite and Flash, only gets Barrier from the Gangplank, and that's a dead Zed.
Gang coming in? That's a dead Zed, wow.
That was just a good, I would say counter gank, but Kayn wasn't anywhere close. It was just a good turnaround by having Nidalee come in.
Good job by the blue team to get some of that gold back. Actually, get some of the gold back. Get the gold lead, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Gank coming in from the bot again. Sig goes down. Amaya-chan goes down. Q up on Arcane Soda.
Soda still has Flash and Heal if he needed it, but he did not use it. And by Soda,
Menard's not willing to tower dive a second time.
He should have just done it. If you're gonna have the, if you're gonna do it, you might as well go for it, right? I'm really surprised that how heavily Zed pushed it in the mid lane. He was up by almost 20 CS when he originally went completely aggressive on the Gangplank, and now it's almost caught up. I assume in the gold value. Yeah, in the gold value, Gangplank's actually ahead by 500 now, probably due to Kleptomancy.
It's a huge part of it. It's kind of weird, you know, you're getting a real good lead going, you just got to stay with it. Don't risk it all for, you know, when you don't have vision on that Nidalee.
Yeah. But there's still a CS lead in the top lane, and a marginal CS lead in the bottom. So it's not all over, it's just, that's a lot of gold.
I'm very surprised about the how well the top's going for Greatbeard of Odin. You know, we didn't have the tentacles early, the poke was coming in, and now Port Swimmer's the one that's having to deal with all the poke from the towers.
Ooh.
Flash in from Alawi, and just for the one hit, doesn't dive the tower.
Yeah, just inexperience on the champion, thinking that the flash in would be enough to get the kill.
Doing a fantastic job landing the E though, and here we go,
Now
all in on Port Swimmer, and gets the kill. Takes a tower shot for his first time.
Yeah, it seemed like Port Swimmer walked up, ulted him closer to himself, and then just gave it over. But
Yeah, interesting going back in, especially when you're at low health and your E's pulled. Just back off, give him some space.
he wasn't anywhere close enough to the tower to tower or wall to ult him and get a stun off. So very strange.
We see both Sig and Amaya roam to the mid lane looking to get a pick off, and both of them just walk back. No need to risk anything there. Menard's going all in on Brandan. Nope, backs off. Hanging around to pick up some of the jungle though.
Yeah, but overall seems very even. Really a game of jungle presence right now. Oh, and Teemo gets pulled again under tower, but the heal saves him. Almost makes it look like the tower shot never happened.
One of the underrated parts of Arcane Soda is holding onto that heal and using it for his support to keep the bot lane even. Big help right there.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't turn into one of those AD carries that just holds onto that heal forever. Like
Brandana gets executed by the red buff.
We have fed the jungle so many times through the history of these games.
It's becoming a staple of the jungle camps to beat our junglers here.
Sundays
Badly going in with Menards.
If they don't get this kill off on Gangplank, that will be a very big disappointment, but they do.
Another successful tower dive for Menards. That's outstanding work.
Yeah. He didn't even feed the tower this time. So, you know, it's always a chance.
Port Swimmer having a rough
lane.
time with that, with the tentacles. Ugh.
Really, when you're versus a lane bully, and in general, Alawi is considered a lane bully, especially when you're losing to her. You would think that Gnar would have ordered some armor instead of going the beginning of Black Cleaver. Well, Black Cleaver is a staple item. Doesn't matter if you're dead.
Yeah, none of the attack matters when you're gone. The amount of ease that Greatbeard of Odin is landing is phenomenal. And another, wow.
Woo. Woo. That is
rough
painful.
lane for Gnar.
Yeah. I wonder if the lack of CC coming out of the jungle on the blue team really is going to negatively affect them. If they had more crowd control, maybe Nidalee would have been able to gank top more, or ever.
Especially with Alawi pushed up that far, you would have expected more. Of course, Brandana having a rough time with the red buff doesn't lead to many ganks either.
He was trying to save that 7-second recoil timer, but it's a little bit late in the game for that to be useful.
It's next level plays.
But the bot lane is still fairly even. With the kill on Teemo, the bot lane is actually even in gold, just a little bit ahead of the Blitzcrank, and Varus a little bit behind Misfortune.
EC2 with the level, Misfortune's at 7, and Sig, the Blitzcrank, is at 5, which is very nice because the utility champ doesn't need to have the high level, you're just looking to make that one play, and then you want the damage coming out of the AD carry, and that's what we're seeing here.
Hook in from Blitzcrank, and Fatly breaking the ankles in the mid lane. Except still gets hit by the spear, so only broke one pair of ankles.
A nice gank from Nidalee to pull that one out there. And Nidalee's successes have really come from the mid lane from Zed pushing too hard. He's a little short on wards, and I think that's hurting him a little bit.
Yeah, I think we just saw a Hex Flash out of the bot lane. Ooh, the Nidalee spear goes through the Kayn. And it looks like Kayn gets shut down. That's a lot of gold heading over.
It's a lot of gold.
Not enough to swing the lead back, but still a lot.
Great job by the Nidalee rebounding after having issues with the red buff.
Yeah. Well, he might consider himself as never of dying. He definitely we won't let him get away with that.
I mean, when anything like that happens, you got to keep reminding the player.
And the audience.
And the audience.
And their mom. Like, you know.
Yeah. Contacting the U.S. Postal Service to make sure that they can get the word out.
We're going to send out Christmas cards.
Exactly. No. That's on Santa's naughty list right there. You can't die to the jungle.
Yeah. And during this lull, we'll take time to thank our sponsors again. That's Gullible, the lawyers, the wheel salesman, and now the UPS replacement. They really come in with all your last-second postage needs. They send your packages to the wrong addresses, but they still send them. But at least they're out of the used tire sales business. Once again, we appreciate all their help for making this stream.
Absolutely. Great job by Gullible and all the services that they do provide.
Yeah. And
we saw gank in top lane again. Yeah. Nidalee doing an amazing job getting the gold back.
They actually got the kill off, and Soda gets the ult off on Kayn, and Kayn gets
heal for Misfortune.
Woo! And the Blitzcrank hooks the Krug. This is a series of unfortunate events.
I just want to point out our selfless ADCs. That's 2 separate heals by 2 separate teams used to save the relative teammate.
Oh, and the Nidalee comes in.
That Nidalee spear is
out,
deadly.
Flash is still up on Misfortune, who flashes out. Will the Teemo get the Kayn? Teemo takes out Kayn. Nope. Varus takes out Kayn. And there's 2 summoner spells left on the map. That's the flashes of top lane. The island that is top lane.
An outstanding 4v4. And after all that, gold is still relatively even. 12 minutes in.
Yep. Can't say it's snowball either way, but I would assume the majority of the gold lead difference is coming from top lane and mid lane. I think the top lane is ahead by 600 gold for the red team, and the mid lane is ahead by 600 gold for the blue team from Kleptomancy alone, I'd say, given the CS lead by Zed.
Alawi working on a tower, trying to get that first tower gold. Nidalee setting up for a gank here.
Yep, no sweeper from the Nidalee, so...
She does get spotted by the ward,
but
misses the spear. Got the Gangplank ult to slow him down.
And this is where Alawi shines. We'll clean at least one of these up.
Both flashes, and gets the kill. Gangplank roaming up.
Up, Narvar into the wall, and up, oh,
Wow, that was close. Great
almost.
Beard of Odin showing off Alawi's ability to 1v2 with those tentacles. Nice work.
Yeah, 1v2 twice.
Ends up a 1-for-1 trade with a 2-man gank, and that's what you need out of someone like Alawi.
Yeah, they get Dragon and first tower off of that. Definitely not worth the little bit of pressure they relieved from the top lane.
Especially not just for a 1-for-1 trade. You'd like to get more out of that if you're all Roman top.
But overall, looks like items are starting to be finished up. The Black Cleaver got picked up by the Gnar, by the Alawi. Duskblades by 3 champs up, as you can see.
Stopwatch is blown,
Yeah.
and it's not going to make a difference.
One of those situations where you really wonder if you don't have flash up and you're playing your champion without any escapes, if it's worth blowing your stopwatch there.
Yeah, especially against these junglers that are doing so much damage.
But the Nidalee is collapsing bot lane. No flash on Misfortune. Just takes him out. Kill
on Blitzcrank, double kill in the bot lane.
Yeah. Kill lead headed over to the blue team.
And still a little bit behind in gold, though.
Yeah. Here at the LCUS, we only care about kills. That and feeding the jungle.
Good ward coverage by Blue to spot out the Zed. Doesn't look like they're going to do anything about it. I'm surprised we didn't see more pressure bot. There's no dragon to go get, so I have to get that double kill. You'd like to see him push the tower some. Didn't happen. Now we're getting a duel here against the Zed.
Yeah, as you can see, the Zed almost one-shot a full health Nidalee without even using his ult.
Oh, wow.
Really
Menard's
need to build some armor on these teams. Every single person, including the AD carry, should have heavy.
Especially against the full AD comp, but we're seeing Blitzcrank is not building any AP. Stack armor, stack Thornmails, win game.
Yeah, honestly. Just let them attack you to death. You know, even less work.
The Rammus strategy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the role Rammus normally fills.
The role Rammus normally fills. Because Rammus curls up into a ball and rolls, obviously.
Anyways,
I'll take my. Oh, another 2-man gank coming top.
with the Mist Spear and the a little bit off-center Gangplank ult, it still cleans it up. Probably due to the lack of ult on Alawi still, but it's gonna be close.
You know, and that too, when Alawi's backing off there, you know, you got 2 people coming top with the Gangplank ult. Just run, you know, try to run back, get some space. Zed with the tower dive, gets stuck in place. Does not die though, that's clean.
Yep.
And Misfortune cleans up the kill.
Yeah, very clean. Oh, gets killed by the Teemo though, right? Right?
Oh!
Yes.
And that's the cancer that we were looking to see.
Yep.
Scientists, get on curing this, we don't need it.
But the red team gets the tower.
Oh, what's that Nidalee spear? That is a painful spear from that distance.
Just ult the Nidalee right there. No, you just take a step back and ult him. You get the tower after that. Nidalee has nowhere close to enough health to want to fight a Misfortune after getting ulted.
I mean, if she can't fight the red buff, she's not going to handle Misfortune ult.
Yeah, that's true. Still no armor coming in from the majority of the team. Gnar did get Ninja Tabbies, but same with Zed, so that doesn't mean too much. Just flash out of whatever the heck Gangplank wants to be called.
Kokoro no Nagi.
Gangplank.
Unfortunately, I'm not a linguist to tell you what that means.
Oh.
Oh.
Should not go in versus that. That's a mistake.
Nope, nope. And Menard's flashes a little bit of BMing there before the kill even gets secured by the Blitz.
So you can see all of the lethality coming in this game. There are 4 champs going explicitly lethality, and 2 champs building some with Black Cleaver. You really have to think what Riot is doing with its balance.
And certainly Wednesdays at the LCUS have been kill fests. A little bit of frustration maybe from having to play smart in the lanes comes out, and we just go to kill each other. I think that's a big portion of this.
Yeah. I was really hoping to, personally when I play Varus, I still go crit. And I was hoping to see that happen as well. Just given the fact that there's no sustained damage on the red team, just 3 or 4 people that are looking to burst.
Illaoi in a big fight.
Oh, Nidalee gets bursted.
Zed flashes out. Zed gets out from under the tower.
It's a freaking nightmare top lane with 6 or 8 tentacles.
Wow. And Illaoi showing that she can 1v5.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help when most of the...
Illaoi with vision and gets another kill.
Yeah, it doesn't help when most of the gold is actually on the Nidalee, and she was bot lane fighting the Zed.
And losing the fight to the Zed in the bot lane.
Need armor.
Yep.
First item, second item, Hourglass would have been a perfect item here. And Teemo will get taken out by the Kayn as well.
A nice tower dive. You can save big money at Menards. He's got it banked with 10 kills and no assists.
Does have it banked. No assists, the dream. Nidalee
Blitz with the pull onto the Nidalee. Misfortune not willing to go in with the Gnar chasing.
No flash on Blitzcrank. Hex Flash won't save him.
Red team looking to secure Dragon after they spot out everyone going top. I'm sure Fatley is just sick of mushrooms at this point.
Yeah, everyone's sick of mushrooms. On their pizza, in their bushes, everywhere. Get it off. Yeah, you can see, as you can see, there's still very little damage coming out of the Gangplank. Despite having the second most gold in the game, now third most gold in the game, really isn't producing the amount of damage that you need out of a team that's behind. Steals the red buff though. Nidalee jumps in,
coming out here.
gets styled on by the Zed ult, but Gangplank shuts down Kayn. Illaoi pops the ult, only gets 1 tentacle spawn. Probably will get taken out by the 3 remaining members of the blue team. But Blitzcrank is coming in from behind, decides to back off. Oh, but the Varus hitting the poke.
And it looks like we'll all go our separate ways here.
Yeah. Gnar versus Zed top right now. Zed coming in to defend the tower. Honestly, if I was Gnar, I would be trying to take that fight. I don't think Zed, especially with his ult down, could 1v1 the Gnar.
Yeah, curious that he didn't stick around, especially because they had a big fight bottom, so you like to see the pressure top.
Blue team getting collapsed on in the mid lane by Blitzcrank and Misfortune, but
Kayn is on the way. And that Kayn damage is insane. Blitzcrank pulls the Gnar off. Illaoi
coming up. If he can, hits Illaoi into the wall, which is the person he does not want to be next to. Kayn, if he gets his cooldowns up, this Gnar is going to be dead real fast.
Kayn goes in, Gnar is down.
Yeah. Kayn seems to be
fight under tower, Teemo against Zed.
About how you'd expect it.
Wow. Zed curing cancer. Like to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Kayn seems to be one of those champs that the LCUS seems to forget about. They kind of just leave it up, so too busy focusing on people's comfort picks. Do they know?
Oh.
Kayn is a lot of people's comfort picks.
Varus lands the ult and Nidalee lands the spear. That is a dead Zed.
There's a heavy poke team coming out from them. Let's hope they can actually survive to siege a tower and make use of it.
MF pops Rift Herald far down the mid lane. I'm guessing the cooldown was coming up short.
Yeah, either that or she's just as bad with Rift Herald as I am.
To say I had a misplay against a Kennen who ulted me out of my Rift Herald a couple weeks ago, so I do know the feeling. Blitzcrank going in, lands the E.
Kayn on Teemo might have gone a little bit too aggressive. Gnar will be able to clean this up if they just... Oh. Teemo just needed to relax a little bit there.
Ends up being a 1-for-1, but good to get that shutdown goal against the Kayn, who's 15-5 at the moment.
He has an assist now. Can't forget about that. So back on Grift Herald, a lot of the time the misplay isn't getting CC'd out of it. It's normally, in my experience, both personally and as people on my team, they just accidentally try to ward. They just think they don't have Rift Herald, or they forget that it takes up the warding slot, and they're chasing someone in a bush. So Gnar is fighting the Zed.
And that's probably why the Gnar was reluctant to fight in the top lane earlier. That Zed is doing a lot of damage right now.
Yeah, but I would say that's because Zed finished his Mortal Reminder, when in the top lane he was just on his components still. That 35% armor penetration really is going to cause some issues for their whole team. Also,
We're starting to see some armor coming out of the blue side too, finally.
yeah, but looking at the AD carry for the blue side, he built a very late tier. And with tier, you either have to get it early or not at all. He's only at
Oh, Teemo.
He's only at 160 stacks and it's at 25 minutes. Even if he finishes the tier at 30 minutes or 35 minutes, it might be too late to win the game.
Especially the hard red team is pushing.
But they do shut down the Kayn, and they get value out of the stopwatch from Nidalee, using it to survive the burn damage.
Quick heal. They're pushing bot lane, or red team is pushing bot lane. Doesn't look like they're gonna be able to clear the minions in time. Blue's gonna have a chance to react here.
Oh,
Zed going in.
that is a dead Varus.
That is so much damage coming off of Lee.
Yeah. And
Sig's sticking around. You got two characters who can do a bunch of damage. You get a pull. Someone's going down.
and you can see
Gnar coming in.
You can see from the Zed that he's not the most experienced Zed player in the world. One thing that a lot of Zeds that don't play a lot of it don't know is that his ultimate will show a little Shrinkin or like Ninja Star above the head of the target, that if they're gonna die from your ult. So in that situation, the Varus was showing the star and definitely would have died from the amount of damage that he did, but he still flashed in for the one last auto.
And as an inexperienced Zed player myself, did not know that. I know Cho'Gath has a similar indication when your ult will eat somebody that I'm always on the lookout for as a Cho top, but nice that League gives us those little advantages to use and understand.
Yeah, it's the little. Sometimes League gives you the little things that you're just like, oh, that's nice. Makes it a lot easier to play this champion. And then other times they're just like, yeah, no, sucks to be you. Don't play this. Like they
Red
don't.
team secures that third dragon.
Yeah, they don't show you any indicators like that on Callista, which is too bad, because sometimes you have 20 stacks on a dragon and you try to pop it and it does not end well for anyone.
Red team pinging the Baron. Looks like they're going to slide that way.
Yep. With the lead that they have, I wouldn't be surprised if they just try to force it. However, there's no inhibs down, and they don't really have any waves pushing, so it would really just be kind of BM, excuse me, if they did it.
Zed run away from the Gnar, doesn't check the bush and misses the control ward. And we're getting a fight brewing here. It's a 5v4 in favor of blue. Alawi's on the way. Blitzcrank with a great pull, and that's a dead Nidalee.
Oh, but that is a lot of damage. They need to go in right now.
Huge damage coming off. Gangplank ult comes out.
Varus misses
Blitzcrank
the
is
ult.
stuck.
Zed is going in on Varus, who flashes away but still dies, I would assume. Gnar is dead.
Alawi does some good
Teemo's
damage. Menard's
dead.
coming off.
Varus is dead. Everybody's dead. It's a massacre.
Blue team had an opportunity to go, and they just looked a little timid on it. I'm kind of surprised. They had a huge advantage. They just needed to push it before Alawi got back.
Yeah. All they needed to do was land the Varus ultimate, and I think they would have won the fight. That's a lot of pressure to just put on one person, but if you have the engage, you have to land it.
Red
Zed.
takes the Baron.
Red takes the Baron, but might lose the
Gangplank
Zed
chasing
still.
the Zed. Slides out with the shadow.
Gets the slowdown from the E. And now getting chased by Alawi, who honestly could get punished from this even more than Zed does. From having two people there. Pops the ult and misses it. If they saw that, they should keep going.
Red team missing a lot of the vision here, too. 2 control wards, both walked over, and red team just didn't take them out. Baron plus the team fight there nets them an extra 3k in the gold lead. They were up 5, now they're up 8. Teemo looking to clear vision in the bot lane, but there's a Kayn hiding in the jungle, and it hurts.
Yeah, he almost got away from that. If he would have just backed, sidestepped. But you just think that the Kayn ult's just going to kill you, so you just decide to let it happen.
I think too he was worried about dragging the Kayn over to his AD carry, who's getting zoned enough by a Zed and a Kayn having the ability to dive in on him.
Another thing that Gnar and Varus should buy is a Guardian Angel. While it doesn't really feel good to just die twice in a row, the armor comes in really handy.
A lot of damage coming out by both teams. We're seeing the AD carries just blow up from these different abilities here.
So, as discussed at the start of the game, Nidalee never really got off the ground. And given the defense she had to build, she doesn't have any damage to really have her magic damage come through any of the armor.
Yeah, she's just, I mean, her spear's still hurt, don't get me wrong. But that loss early in the jungle, you know, losing your red buff and dying to red buff later on, definitely set her back a lot. And you're not seeing the damage that you would have expected coming out of her, especially in a game that's been all about the damage, because there's not enough defense coming out here.
Zed gets killed by
the Teemo.
Teemo.
Another one dies to cancer.
Fortune's gonna get killed by Teemo.
Of course, as soon as we start talking about Nidalee, she gets the shutdown.
Varus should come back in and help this Nidalee, but instead...
All in on Menard.
Oh. Yeah, Guts...
Goes 1 for 1. And Blitzcrank is going to walk out.
Yeah. Or run his little robot legs away. Varus should probably cut off this wave and really start shoving it into the bot tower, since they have about 30 seconds.
Yeah, huge tower advantage in favor of red team right now, 7-2. The gold lead, the Drake lead. And overall, just the damage seems to be in their favor. That full armor comp is going to start hurting them here, though, because we're seeing the armor come out from blue.
Yeah, it's about time. It might be too late, just given how much armor pen now is completed on everyone on that team.
Yep.
But it's, you know, it's the right move. Other than just camping in a bush and hoping, it's the right move.
And camping in a bush and hoping has seemed to be paying off for a lot of people just wandering the jungle without enough vision.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Fnatic strategy, and they're professionals.
Teemo getting some vision for blue in the bot. They seem to have the advantage in their own top jungle. Now they have the advantage on their side of the map just overall. Red sitting with a couple wards in the bot side and the control ward over Baron. Miss Fortune making sure she doesn't die to red buff. Always important in a stream.
Yeah. Twice would just be embarrassing.
Zed going in with Menards.
One of them couldn't have done it. And the Teemo dies as well. I think
the league is all about protecting your ADC, and there's just no way to protect from both the Kayn and the Zed right now.
No, their team comp just doesn't stand up to that much assassination.
Kayn's soloing the dragon. They're 4th. No dragons for blue. Base is starting to crumble. Gnar playing with fire against the Blitzcrank that might pull. Going in 1v4. Blitz with the pull. Ow.
Acting like he's Alawi. Didn't end up that way.
Meanwhile, Alawi takes the top tower. No turrets remaining over the inhibitors. They're all exposed. Bear's going in on Alawi, getting that poke in. And wisely runs away from the Zed.
Oh my god, that is some crazy damage. And very
Ouch.
little damage coming out of bars, just due to how far behind that team is.
Yep. Alawi goes 1 for 1, does some damage to the inhibitor. Good use of the Zonias there by Nidalee. Let's try to make her pay for running. Teemo sitting around to poke a little bit. And all in on the misfortune here. Italy Sphere misses.
Italy
Still
takes
dies.
out MF and gets a Blitzcrank.
Double kill for the blue. Good base defense. Which is going to be important here with all 3 inhibitors down.
Yeah, it's
They do lose a turret for it though.
yeah. It's how long can you really make that last? They don't have any wave clear besides the Gangplank, and I don't think that he really is able to clear it either. He actually doesn't have boots.
Interesting. Gets a little bit of speed from the Trinity Force.
A little bit of speed from killing barrels, and yeah, but boots are the best item in the game, hands down. That's why they only let you buy 1 pair of them.
League of Movement.
Back when I first started playing, not that people should pay attention to what I did back in Season 1, was I bought movement speed runes, and I used them for a really long time, and they come in really handy when you're playing someone aggressive. Because everyone's just like, oh, I know how fast Pantheon is, or how fast Zed is, and then you just catch up to them. Or they're chasing you as Ashe, and they can't catch up to you. Back when these runes in the preseason were from Reforged, everyone was going that 1 rune in, I believe, Sorcery, or the other one that gives you 4% bonus movement speed.
On the Inspiration Tree.
Yeah, that is amazing as well.
The magic boots that you get too, interesting trade-off, getting that 10 extra movement speed, so the longer you go, the more that comes into play, but not being able to get boots before 10 minutes definitely hurts.
Yeah, you really have to think about your laning phase and who you're playing versus, and if you think you're going to be out of lane before 10 minutes, or you think that it's going to be a game of inches in your lane, like if you're playing versus Blitzcrank or really heavy poke champion, might not be worth it, but otherwise it's a free 300 gold, plus 50 gold for upgrading your boots.
We're seeing the final throws here. Red secures Baron, nothing blue can do about it. They're busy covering their base.
But they
Flash away from Port Swimmer and in by Sig.
They should have fought that more. With the ult by Soda, the really good ult by Soda, and Gangplank ult being up, I think they would have been able to clean that up if they actually would have went all in.
Was a good time to go in. It's hard to convince your team to go in when you're down this far. 10k gold lead, 17 kills, all 4 Drakes are in favor of blue.
Yeah, well, it's either you go in right there or you go in chance select. And they should have went there. Like, clean up Alawi.
MF ult comes out,
Everyone
pops the GA.
low health on the red team gives them a chance.
Zed unable to secure the kill with the ult. Double kill out of Gangplank.
Oh, and Kane for the pentakill. Just kidding. I don't see that far in the future. Oh, they get Kane too. That must have been a pretty big crit since I didn't even see him come out.
Nice defense by the blue team.
Yeah.
2 inhibitors down, you're fighting against Baron buff. Staying calm, going after the kills where you can. It was a nice job.
Really, really nice job. But 25 kills on the Kane.
25.
25. That's one of the reasons why we don't track stats too heavily in gym class feeders. It's because all the records would just be held here. So what do you think that the blue team needs to do to make this, successfully turn this game around?
I think we've seen red team is feeling very confident. They're roaming the jungle without any issue. They need to set up picks and then force an objective as soon as they get one. Especially anything on the Zed or the Kayn is going to be an opportunity for them to go. Would like to see too more armor coming out. We're seeing the Ninja Tabi starting to drop. Gangplank, I'm still surprised doesn't have one. Thornmail and Gnar.
Yeah.
Just go for a full armor defense here. Make them pay for every bit of damage that they do.
That's true. Looking at the versus Vandermeer, he's still only at 500 stacks, and he got it at around 25 minutes. I think that it's going to take him almost to 50 minutes to finish the item now at this rate.
We're seeing the fight Brune in bot lane. It's a 4v4 right now, and
now it's a 3v4.
It's a 3v4. Blitzcrank with a good pull.
Gangplank needs to ult that right now before his whole team gets cleaned up. But I think that's probably the end of this.
Yeah, we've been talking about the pick. It was being set up. We got the Nidalee traps. We got the Teemo
Gangplank picks
shrooms.
off one, pops his ult. Is he gonna lay any barrels down, or is he just gonna hope his inhibitors protect him long enough? There's only minions in the bot lane, so if he's able to save that tower, he has a chance.
He's got a 1v4 for a long time here, though.
Alawi pops the ult, but only
Alawi
gets
going
one
in.
tentacle
Turret
in
goes down.
range. Yeah, that is probably the end
And
of that.
Gangplank gets forced out of the spot. That's going to be the end of the game. And Gangplank just go down 1-for-1 at the end, but it's not going to matter.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that was that. Only a 10k gold difference at the end of the game, though.
It definitely felt like more.
Yeah, it definitely did feel like more than that.
Blue team kind of felt like they were on their heels the whole game.
It's probably from the 20k gold lead coming out of Gangplank that really brought that together. Looking at damage real quick, the Kayn, the Assassin Kayn did the most damage in that game.
And I think we definitely saw that with Gangplank doing quite a bit. And then Alawi and Zed, there's just so much damage coming out of red team. Not a lot that blue could do, especially when they didn't build enough armor to deal with it.
Yeah. All right. So we will be right back. We're just going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with game 2.